Thinking about my work, how it's evolved, there's been a number of points where I started doing something different and new that have turned into new phases of my work. I call them breakthroughs. As things progressed, another thing I started doing were what I call color-based ideas. Using the same materials, these consumer brand packages, and taking the colors and doing different ideas. Really, the initial idea, the breakthrough, was a sticker collage using priority mail stickers. I had been using stickers and labels, and for some reason I made a flag out of a bunch of old priority mail stickers that I had. And that's the initial idea of the flag. Since then, I've done hundreds of flags. The first time I ever did a brandscape, I made a portrait of sunflowers, where I took green from packages and made stems. I made brown circles from, I think, a Cocoa Puffs box. I took yellow to be the leaves, the petals on the flowers, used some blue for the background. And I had been learning about Van Gogh and his sunflowers, so I wanted to do my version of sunflowers. But after doing that, I started doing a series of flowers and trees and nature scenes using the colors from the packages. I call them Brandscapes because they're landscapes made out of brand packages. And now, anytime I would do some sort of a nature scene using the color from packages, it still goes back to that initial idea. I've been working with this material now for 26, 27 years, and I've amassed quite a collection. The pieces, the images, are really what have become my palette. For a painter, their palette is colors. Whatever type of paint they choose to use, they're making a picture and they're picking the color or they're mixing the colors and they're making their painting. But my collages, I do use the color from the packages for some of my ideas, and very often as fill-in. But the images themselves, the letters, the characters, the fonts, the logos, other little miscellaneous stuff that you find on the package if you look closely at it, that's my palette. A lot of pieces I will collect imagery for them, and then when I'm ready to start gluing, then I'll put it down in front of me and do it. It's turned into dissecting the consumer imagery from the packages of our everyday life and taking them and then using them for some other purpose. I'd say at this point in time, I do have several years worth of projects that I'm in the middle of right now, including collecting stuff for bigger projects. The pie collage is another good example because since pie goes on forever, I worked for 4 years on my masterwork of pi to 777 digits, but at the end of the 777th digit, I put the dots, dot, 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 and that was in 2009. And since then, I've continued to collect numbers. As I work, whenever I find, good size numbers, I have a box filled with numbers. But my idea is to do another one the exact size and shape of the 777 and start at 778 and then see how far I get. You do need to keep moving forward. You don't want to keep doing the same thing. You take a risk. Using the Frosted Flakes box was a sharp turn for me. That's why that's such an important breakthrough, because without that, that was the material. It changed my palette. It changed my palette completely. I couldn't imagine when I first started drawing that years later my thing would be cutting up packages and cereal boxes. I hope that there'll be something else that I can't even fathom right now. and that's what keeps things exciting.